I am constantly getting fundraising emails from Donald Trump. Sometimes I'll get 10 in a day. My Gmail has started redirecting them immediately to spam, but I still check that folder and see them in there. And some of these fundraising emails from the Trump campaign have seemed more and more panicked, more and more desperate. But it turns out, based on multiple new reports, that Donald Trump's campaign is having a financial problem. They have had to cut ads that they are running. They have spent almost 75% of all the money they raised this entire election cycle. And in thinking about this, you all know that I hate how our American politics depends on money and depends on fundraising. I think the system is corrupt. I think the system is corrosive. I think it must be changed. It just so happens that this is the system we have right now. And it just so happens that this could be a real problem for Donald Trump in the last couple of months before the election. According to the New York Times, Donald Trump has largely stopped advertising on TV as Joe Biden is spending more and more on television, particularly in key states that could be the deciding states, with the more than $360 million that Joe Biden raised in August, which is a record. And I'll get to that in a moment. The New York Times goes on to say, quote, the Trump campaign is expected to increase television spending next week, but several Republicans said that Bill Stepien, Trump's campaign manager since July, was taking a cautious approach after the former leadership spent huge sums on television and digital ads earlier this year to no discernible effect. The light television spending and advertising blackouts in some key states have mystified allies, raising questions about how much cash the campaign has in the bank. Now, if you just look at the top line, you might not be that alarmed. For example, you might hear that Trump raised $1.1 billion. And that is true, but that goes back to the start of 2019. And they didn't spend that money on the primary. And that should be an advantage because Joe Biden did have to spend money on the primary. But somehow 73% of the $1.1 billion that has been raised has already been spent, almost identical to Donald Trump's business and personal lives. They are spending on stupid things. Going back to the New York Times, quote, the campaign assembled a big and well-paid staff and housed the team at a cavernous, well-appointed office in the Virginia suburbs. Outsized legal bills were treated as campaign costs, and more than $100 million was spent on a television advertising blitz before the party convention, the point when most of the electorate historically begins to pay close attention to the race. So Trump having money problems. On the other side of this, Joe Biden is raising record amounts of money, $365 million raised in August. Choosing Kamala Harris caused a spike in fundraising. And yes, Biden has saved a ton of money by campaigning remotely for a lot of the pandemic, being able to save up money for the TV blitz that they are now doing. And, you know, Donald Trump Jr. and others like to laugh at Joe Biden's Zoom fundraisers. Those have been major successes. Those Zoom fundraisers, shockingly, have kept costs down and sometimes bring in nearly $750,000 in 90 minutes. So big picture, is this shocking? No, this is what happens when, listen, we know that Trump was using campaign funds for paying legal bills. We know that Trump was using campaign funds to pay his own family, Lara Trump pulling a couple $100,000, all these different Trump kids and family members getting paid. And I want to remind you that there was this idea that Trump was so wealthy that he would self-fund his campaign. He wouldn't even need to fundraise because he's a multi-billionaire. In fact, not only is he fundraising and spending all of that money, he is now struggling to fundraise. And there are, of course, questions about whether money has been used illegally. The answer is probably yes. In reality, it will likely have no repercussions whatsoever. The last thought on this. I want to go back to this. I'm not telling you this because I think it's great that we have a system where the person like I am telling you this because if we're going to evaluate the campaign attached to reality, we can't ignore that fundraising is a big signal about voter enthusiasm. And the fact that Donald Trump appears to be so short on cash is not particularly good for him. Now, later on in the program, we're going to look at polling today compared to polling on this day 4 years ago. And what I told you 2 to 3 weeks ago about how the polling this year compared to Hillary's polling in August of 2016, that has changed significantly, and we're going to look at that next. Remember that this program is available every day in its long-form audio format for free on any of your favorite podcasting platforms. If you're an iTunes gal, if you're a Spotify bro, if you're a Pandora kid, whatever, make sure you get the daily long-form audio podcast, and let me know what you think about the state of the campaign in your state by sending me a tweet. I am at Pakman on Twitter. One of our sponsors today is Helix Sleep, and it's a sponsor I'm thrilled about because I sleep on a Helix mattress at home, and it's just the perfect mattress. One of the best things about Helix is you don't have to guess which mattress do I need, which one will be good for me. You take their famous sleep quiz on their website. You tell them your body type, your sleeping position, your back pain issues you might have, and they will pair you with a mattress that will be perfect for you. I took the sleep quiz. The mattress they suggested was exactly what I needed. I often get too hot at night. The mattress keeps me cool. It's not too soft. It's not too firm. The texture is right. And I've just been getting way better sleep. You only buy a mattress every decade or so. Don't get stuck with something that's not perfect for you. And all Helix mattresses come with a 10-year warranty, and they'll even come to your house and pick it up within 100 days if you don't love it. But I think you will. All of my viewers will get up to $200 off your order, and you'll get 2 super premium pillows for free when you go to the link right underneath this video.